You've done the mindset work, so why do you still feel disconnected sometimes? Because it's not in your mind. I'm hosting 2 live sessions using neuroepigenetic breathing, a guided experience to help you reconnect with your body, regulate your nervous system, and feel like yourself again. April 1st and 8th, and it's free. Come experience it. Details in the show notes.
What if travel in midlife isn't really about the destination, but about returning to yourself? For many women, the desire to travel comes with fear, guilt, or the feeling that it's something they'll do someday. Today, we are exploring how travel can become a powerful practice of self-trust, presence, and reconnecting with who you are now. Welcome, beautiful soul. This is Midlife Butterfly, the space where you remember who you truly are beneath all the roles, responsibilities, and expectations. I'm your empowerment guide, Ken as you, and I hold this space for women in midlife who are ready to rediscover themselves, reclaim their joy, and live fully aligned. If you are new here, welcome to our cocoon. You are just enter a place where choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's sacred. And so let's take a deep breath, drop into your heart, and let's dive in. And today I have the great pleasure of having Maria Kamau. She is a Kenyan-born travel writer, ICF certified coach, and founder of Travel with McKay. She helps African women, and hopefully from this moment on, people all around the women all around the world who are 40 years old and plus to stop postponing travel and start planning it with more confidence, clarity, and self-trust. Having traveled to 90 plus countries, Maria brings both lived experience and calm, practical approach to navigating visas, budgets, safety, and itinerary that fit real life. Her work is especially meaningful for women in midlife who feel called to reconnect with themselves, move beyond fear, and finally say yes to the journeys they have delayed for years. Through coaching and resources, Maria helps women turn travel from a distant dream into a grounded, empowering reality. Welcome, Maria. It is a great pleasure having you here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kenna. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I would like to start by asking you, how would you call this stage of your midlife, of this season?
Oh, wow. Aligning.
I love that.
Aligning. I think it's never ends. I think it's a continuous process. So aligning, evolving, growing. Yeah. Yeah. Excited.
Oh, it is. I mean, that's the path, right? And I think midlife is when we start like, okay, let's put more gas in the tank and let's just
Yes.
keep going, keep going.
Yes.
And yes, since we want to, I think we start more reconnecting with ourselves in midlife, getting to explore and see, okay, what do I really want? Why do I really need now? After all the transitions, right, that women are going in, either if it's, I don't know, if they are moms and they're becoming empty nesters, or if there's going through a separation or divorce, or it's about finding a new partner also, all these, and then losing dear ones too. All these kind of situations happen more in midlife, and I believe it's when we start questioning more life and saying, okay, what do I really want after prioritizing everyone else for such a long period of time? And since you are a travel expert, what do you see is the real thing that holds women back in travel? Because I think that traveling part, if some people haven't done it at all, or if we have done it, but we want more,
Yes.
Of course. What do you think is holding them back?
It's an interesting question that I get asked a lot. And so I try to reflect and try to listen to those I coach and others.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot. First of all, it's something you keep saying. It's something that is not new, that we prioritize everyone else, that we show up for our family, for communities, whether church or socially, for everyone else. But when it comes to ourselves, we hesitate.
Yeah.
We postpone, we rethink, or sometimes we forget. And in our complexity, we even feel guilty thinking about ourselves over others. Some even may feel shame, even though you're not asking for resources. You much capable women run businesses, they run families, they run communities, but there's just that underlying fear.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of fear, of course, like, is it okay? Is it worthwhile? Am I that person? Identity, especially if you don't do it a lot. It's like, it's those people, that's for, the singles, or those who have a lot of money, or the brave ones, so not really placing themselves in that identity, and somehow not realizing identity comes from doing, not defining. And then ultimately is like waiting for society to give them permission. Because interestingly, I've come to realize that women, particularly women, society guides us how we should behave, but women tend to be guided, so by this age, you should be thin and beautiful. By that age, you should be, growing up and maybe dating. By that age or by that time, you should be, getting into serious relationships. By this time, you should be having babies, you should be 2.5 children, and the white picket fence, your career,
Yeah.
even if you're not taking all these tests, but somehow society is like ticking, so that if you haven't, it's like, what are you waiting for? What are you up to? And then, so when it comes to now making decisions for ourselves that are not what we think or what society tells us is not aligned with what they should be doing, or when we come to that situation, which is why where many women find themselves after 40, when society doesn't really have a direction. It's like, yeah, we guided into there.
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward, you kind of like figure it out for yourself. So then you're lost. Like, so is this okay? Is this not okay? Am I that person? Yeah.
Yeah.
So hesitance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your identity, fear, and just the hesitation we have on, is it okay to decide for ourselves?
Yeah. It's so true what you said before, that we have this checklist. And yeah, when it comes to midlife, after that, it's like, what should we do? That's true. And that's when we think that we have a crisis, when it's not really a crisis.
Yes.
It's when we start wondering and we have that awakening of saying like, shit, I've been following all this and now what? Right? I love what you said, that identity comes from doing.
Yeah.
That's so true. We cannot become, well, we say a new version of ourselves, but I love more of going, we cannot remember more who we really are if we don't do something different.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got to take action.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Because if we're just kind of like waiting here, it's like not gonna happen. We might have the intention, we can, I don't know, meditate in here, bringing the energy and stuff. Yeah, but we don't take action. Nothing is going to
No,
move. Nothing is going
no.
to move.
Yeah. You can't be identified, even yourself, you can't identify with your dreams or your desires until you take action. So even if you want to be a mother, you're not going to be a mother until you either give
Yeah,
birth or adopt
yeah.
or look after a child,
Ah, you
that
need a seed in
exactly. So you have to take action so that you define it for yourself, or others then start to see you as that kind of description or identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And identity is a big deal in
Mm-hmm.
transition.
Yes.
Like we're saying, if you didn't also check the boxes, you have additional titles for identity. So if you didn't get married, you're the unmarried one, or if you got divorced, you're or if you didn't have children, or yeah. So
Yeah.
even in career, so once you take action, then it becomes a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's too many labels and hats and,
Yes.
that we carry
Yes.
that they have a lot of weight. And I guess
Yes.
that's also part of what really hold us back,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you mentioned, I remember when I was reading about your information that about like we say like, well, we're gonna do it like someday. But then since we're
Yes.
talking about action, you talk
Yes.
about taking grounded action. So what is usually what helps women to take that action towards saying, yes, I want to go and take that trip, either if it's a solo or if it's with friends.
Mm-hmm.
How can they, yeah, like finally get that inspiration and that motivation to say, let's go?
Yeah, that is a tough one because the someday seems to be with good intentions,
Mm-hmm.
just that the goalpost keeps moving because we are waiting for miles or things to happen that we have decided or others have decided or what we think others decide for us.
Mm-hmm.
So until the children grow up, until I retire,
Mm-hmm.
wait until my best friend is ready. And so we keep checking in with others without realizing that, because we feel needed and we feel valuable or fulfilled, or
Yeah.
that we matter with all these roles.
Yeah.
And so if we want to take it from someday, it's a decision first with the acceptance that, and sometimes it's a difficult acceptance that others can, life will go on without me.
Definitely. Yeah, that belief that no, I need to be the rescuer, the saver, because that's what you say. We feel needed. Yeah, but
Yes,
sometimes we make people need us,
yes, yes, yes,
releasing that control too and saying,
yes,
no, I
yes,
let you be because I want
yes.
to also be.
That's it. It's a bit humbling and a bit very intentional. Like I need to stop feeling needed, or I need to need for myself.
Mm,
We don't realize that, in fact, the more we give ourselves, the better we are present for others.
so true.
But because it's part of the identity, no, and many a time, by the way, it is us who put that on ourselves. It's not the others, because when you make a decision, people adjust.
Mhm.
People adjust. So what I remind women is that you're not quitting life. You're not quitting your family. You don't even have to quit your job.
Mhm.
You're just taking time out. And time out is not months, is not years. It doesn't have to be. It can be. but it doesn't have to be.
True.
It's time out for yourself, because we, in our commitment to looking after everyone else, we forget who we are.
Yes.
I think you keep saying that often. You forget who you are, who we are. We forget what our desires are. We forget our dreams, what we dreamed when we were young or when we were starting life. We forget it's difficult even to determine what's important, because of course we evolve. When we were younger, what was important is different, as you grow older, with family, with career, with community. We evolve, we change. When do we take a moment to just be and, would you say, return to self?
Return to the self, yes.
Just to take a moment to reconnect with yourself. And that doesn't have to be alone. If we're talking about travel, it can be with somebody else, but don't let it be dependent on someone else. So you make the decision that, and we keep being reminded every day, we lose people move on, people who have dreams, who have plans, people pass on. This is the reminder that your dreams are not going to wait forever. Your goals are not going to wait forever. Your timeout is not going to ring a bell when it's time or it's ready. You need to make it happen.
You gave me chills. Yes, that's true. We think it's like, we don't know how much time between codes we have. So it's just so true.
You're ready. You're ready. It's not even about the money a bit. We all have, it's not the expense. It's not the time. It's you to make the decision. Once you realize there's not going to be a bell somewhere that's going to pass and say, oh, Kenna, ding, 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 it's time now. No, you are the one who's going to make the decision for yourself.
Yeah.
And you are going to, once you make that decision, people will manage themselves around you, whether it's your partner, your husband, your aging parents, your kids, they're going to, and it's just for a moment.
Yeah.
Listen, we don't need months to go out and visit a dream location. We don't need months to go and visit a friend. Just to step away from the noise, from the humdrum, from the rat race, from your environment. Just to step away for a moment. You determine how long that moment is, but step away. It doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have to be a daunting round the world tour. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. A moment can be a short distance away, can be a different city. It can be a different country. It can be what you are bold enough to say yes to, but it's only for a moment. And that's a self-gift. That's a self-gift.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's a gift.
And it's amazing how just by taking a few days or many days as you can or you want to, the way you can just recharge, as you mentioned, just by getting out of that environment. Because we're used to, having the autopilot of all the tasks that you're supposed to do at home and the people that are around you. So the fact that you get out of your environment just by shifting that, everything it's different.
Is exactly. It is. And it's different for different people at different time. But the important thing is that it can serve so many purposes. It can help you just exhale, just take a breath and just, reconnect with yourself in a quiet moment.
Yeah.
It can help you heal. We have so much. In fact, that's probably the heaviest backlog we have. Healing from, past traumas or disappointments with self, disappointments in life, bereavement, just healing, just stepping away. Stepping away can be healing. It can help you see the situation that you're in from a different perspective, just stepping away.
Yeah.
Just stepping away. So it's getting you out of your comfort zone so that you can be on the outside looking in. And that in so many ways. Outside your environment, outside yourself in your comfort zone, looking inward.
Yeah.
And one of the most impactful things I've found with travel is that just by being bold enough to step away, far or near, is so empowering that on your return, you find you can take bolder steps in other areas of your life, nothing to do with travel, just stepping away and then having that reflection, reconnecting with self, stepping away from the dramas of life.
Yeah.
Just can help you see yourself in a different perspective. So it's a self-exploration as much as it is, I'm an adventurer. So I like to go out in the outdoors, and also it can be an outward adventure. It's an inward adventure. You learn who you are outside of your comfort zone. And when you come back, you'll be surprised how much braver you are to be able to do that and to do other things that have, you've been holding yourself back from.
Yeah. Wow. That is so true. It just remind me once I guess it was the second time that I went to Costa Rica. I went to a retreat with a few sisters that we were taking a program together. And I remember when we got there to a finca, I was with one of them. We were just chatting and admiring nature. Like I never see that many variety of plants in that space. It was just so beautiful and so overwhelming. And I remember it's crazy how we are programmed, because I remember I felt worthy of being there. And well, then, yeah, it was just insane. And I was like, wow. So I just, allowed that. And then, well, the retreat was for 3 or 4 days. Wow. And then I was talking to this sister at the end, and she told me that she felt the same when we got there. Of course, by the time we got out of there, we were like, we are super worthy, and we can even have more and ask for more, and we deserve more. Yes. And just by admiring nature, just by being in that presence, it was just so powerful. And how that shift, happened just by being there and being grounded and feeling and listening to the water, going through the river, exactly. Having those delicious fresh meals, having nice conversations with other people, and sometimes just silence, and just listening to the sounds of nature there. It was so transformative. Wow. And
I want to go.
Oh, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It was just beautiful. But I do understand what you mean, like how that self-discovery, or how many things pop up just by getting out of our comfort zone, right? And then how we can transform in a way that's so unexpected.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, and that applies solo. Solo is probably the most impactful, but so is with others. So if you travel with a friend or with family, the experience is, especially outside of your country or your city, whatever your comfort zone is.
Yeah,
those experiences outlast everyone, because it's the connection that you have in experiencing whatever the shared experience out there.
Yes.
That just transforms the nature of your relationship, how you see each other, the bond. And you can't even experience that without also feeling the difference within you. So just like you've explained, it's really like that. A retreat is I wouldn't say perfect because there's no one way of doing it, but a retreat is really an impactful way of traveling, going out, meeting other people, experiencing, that environment for a few days and coming back. Yeah, no wonder you can still remember what you
Yes.
experienced.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to go back to that guilt. That's I guess that's one of the main reasons that women don't say, yes, even if I'm not ready, I'm still gonna do it. Because as you said, is that guilt, and then having those excuses also saying, oh no, how am I gonna spend the money on me?
Yes.
Right? How am I gonna leave my partner alone? How come I'm gonna take time for me while my parents need help, need that support?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, like with the experience that you have had with women that they have traveled with you, even when they come with this guilt, how have you seen kind of like, I don't know, a shift or a transformation in them after, they completed a trip and say, oh, yeah, like this was so worthy.
Yeah. That one is a tough one because I sense that is probably the struggle that even keeps some of those people who would approach me from approaching me. Because already it's like, can I even admit, can I even bring myself out to even suggest that this is something I desire, something I deserve, Because, once the children come or, you're the caregiver in one way or another, it's just automatic. Everyone else first. And yet you are the one who's, expending yourself. You are the one who's exerting yourself and to feel like you're fulfilling your responsibilities. But some of these are self-exposed, that's self-imposed. But also we don't realize that for you to really deliver, if you're offering a service to someone, you want to do it in a manner that gives you joy, that, presence. And the longer you keep your dreams away, the longer you feel guilty about fulfilling something that you desire. You don't realize that these are some of the things that lead to burnout, resentment, because then you have this kind of thoughts of, after all I've done, it wasn't, maybe no one asked for it, or maybe no one required it or demanded it from you, but you offered it of yourself. And then to the extent of putting aside your needs or your desires to offer this support, caring in whatever format, whether it's human care or financing. And we have a lot of that in Africa. So this is the reality. Our welfare system is relatives. So you can really expend yourself and extend yourself a lot. And so the reminder to women is that if you thrive, everyone else around you thrives even more. You will even be more giving and more generous, and you will do it with no reservations if you take care of yourself first. We go back to the airplane. What we always hear them say. There's a reason they say that. There's a reason you need to take care of yourself first before you take care of others. It's not selfishness. It is the grace and the gift that you give to others by being a well taken care of person yourself before you take care of others, or even as you take care of others. Yes. So women really need to stop and take a moment. And there's something you said that I need to emphasize is we just don't have these moments of silence. It's completely underexploited moment of silence. And they're so much harder if we maintain our environment than when we step away. But nonetheless, yes, these are the things that women, we guilt over it, but we forget that we are so centered. There's the center of so much that if we are not taking care of ourselves, then everyone will suffer around us. And so the service we're giving or the care we're giving will not be up to speed. And people, like I keep saying, they will manage themselves around it. Because the reality is, like, when it comes to travel, if it's a work assignment, people will go. You will work things around. The
Yeah.
office requires that you go somewhere and they're going to, arrange things, and people will work around it. But when it comes to just for you, for leisure, for time out, to take care of yourself, we see that as something selfish. But it really is valuable to you as it is valuable to those around you. And so it is just, again, back to giving yourself permission to take care of yourself. If you consider it important to go to the gym so that you're in better health, to eat healthy, then consider travel as part of that self-care.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I do agree with you. Yeah, it must be over there, like in the checklist of self-care, travel. Well, I do it, but I didn't realize that. Yeah, I just didn't realize that it's part of my self-care, the traveling
Yes.
part. It
Yeah.
is.
Even if it's once a year, even if it's, once a quarter, and it can vary.
Mhm.
It can be a weekend away, it can be, a nice long trip, 4 or 5 days once a year. Just the way it works for you,
Mhm.
just add it to your list of self-care, because that impacts positively on your physical health, on your mental health, on
Emotional,
the
energetically.
emotional. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
It is part of your self-care.
Yeah. With all that you have just shared, it, I just came to realize that I think what we do as women, we create this kind of, bubble where we think like, okay, I want to feel needed, right?
Mhm.
So, because I can rescue people and then they can love
Mhm.
me and then I
Exactly.
belong, the whole thing.
Yes.
But then at the same time, we do that, but we then, as you said before, we came to this thing of saying, after all I've done for you. Yeah, but it's like,
Exactly.
you chose to do it, so I can depend
Exactly.
on you. And then you're kind of blaming me. And
Yes.
so we get into this ball instead of kind of like losing that up and then saying,
Yes.
okay, no, it's part of my self-care. And if
Yes.
I fill up my cup, if I drive, as you said, the other ones are going to drive. So instead of making other people needing us, what about making other people driving because you are
Exactly.
driving?
They grow too. They
Mhm.
thrive too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We are
And it's
actually
good
blocking
for,
them.
yes, especially young ladies. Our daughters, our female relatives, when they
Yes.
see us, putting off life, they will think that's what should be done. But when they see us thriving,
Hmm.
and yeah, the silent side is like, our men will go on with their lives. They will go for their goals. They will
Hmm.
not stop for
Hmm.
our sake. So this is part of the resentment. Just
Yeah.
what you are building, that I've done all this for you.
Hmm.
How come? But hey, while you are doing all this for me, you could also have decided a little bit for myself. And then we continue with, yeah, because I'm happy as a woman to serve, to care for, to provide for, but I also should not forget myself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's when we get lost. When
Yes.
we prioritize everyone except us, when, as
Yes.
you said, it's the
Yes.
RPA thing, we gotta put our mask first.
Yes.
It has to be that way. I mean, otherwise we're dead and we cannot help us.
Yes. And nobody will come to tell us, put on your mask. They will be
No.
busy with their own masses.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
They will be busy with their own mask.
Yes.
And that's the thing. We think it's selfish, but no, you gotta survive on your own first.
At the end of the day, if I'm healthy, I can help you. If I'm not healthy, I cannot. And this also goes particularly, this is why we talk about solo travel. Friends, waiting on friends, women, love each other to the extent that we hold, particularly travel, maybe other careers, other things, we will move on. But there are too many women waiting on their friends. I suppose, this part of the fear, if I'm alone. But you run your family alone, you run your businesses. Travel is not that much different. It's a different package, but it involves all the same adventure, except you move out from your comfort zone.
Yeah.
If your friends, your priority on travel may not be as strong as your friends. So it is possible to go out and come back in one piece.
Of course. And the cool part is that you might make some new friends.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the fun part. Most likely you get to know other people and have different conversations. Again, it's part of that growing, of creating new experiences and seeing things from different perspectives with new people. That also help us grow a lot. Yes.
Yes. New friends, different cultures, people who don't have any expectations of you or how you should behave, hopefully. So you can just be.
Yes.
Yeah. Just interact with others as they are. Yeah. It's an adventure.
Yes, it's an adventure. Because we are so afraid of the unknown.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which
yes.
I came to the conclusion. Yes, but I came to a conclusion that it's such a stupid way of thinking, because if we stop and reflect, the whole life has been unknown. We didn't know we didn't know how to walk at one point. We didn't know how to speak. Then we went to school, meet new people, to then get to meet your relatives, and then I don't know, have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a new job. All
a
that
new
was
job, new people.
Exactly.
Yes.
All that was unknown. So why not taking that step forward to go for an adventure that, of course, is going to be unknown, but it's going to bring so much light and pleasure and other perspectives and another way of seeing yourself and others.
And the world.
And the world. Yes.
Yeah. Big, whole new world out there. I like what you say. One good example, just along the same lines, is when I'm asked, like, how do you go and interact with strange people, out there? And I'm like, how many times do you take an Uber in a day? Do you know the person? Do you choose Ubers based on who you know? No, you don't. You're interacting with strangers all the time.
All the time. Yes.
They're local strangers. These are just foreign strangers, but stranger is stranger. You don't know them. So
yeah, wow. Yeah. What is one of the, I don't know, best adventures you have experienced? Yeah, like in your midlife.
Wow. Actually, it is starting to travel solo, because I have to say I am fortunate that I'm spoiled. I have a sister who's, we discovered very early in life, we share a passion for travel. And she was, though she lives, she's the sister I'm visiting in Namibia, and I'm based in Kenya. But it's not easy to find a travel companion who enjoys the same things as you do, can afford it in terms of time and cash. Just a reminder that it doesn't have to be expensive, but it costs. So certainly you have to have a budget for it. Someone who's willing and someone with whom we get along. So, travel companion, that's very many ticks. So I've been fortunate to have her as a travel companion, as another, and also another friend from Ethiopia who's based in the States. In fact, one of my most amazing travels was when I traveled to the States and we did a road trip from Boston to LA and back. That was fantastic. Over 3 weeks.
Wow. That sounds fantastic.
Wow. amazing. And we were camping all the way. So that was fantastic. So over the years, life happens. So people have, the paths go in different ways.
Yeah.
And so people get busy, and my travel passion hasn't changed. I'm still very passionate about travel. And so we would travel at least once a year. And then as midlife, as we get more empowered and remember to, no shame, no guilt, enjoy ourselves traveling, we started traveling more. And then they both got busy. We are caregivers for elderly parents. Careers are expanding and growing. So I found that I planned this trip to Europe and I was on my own, that nobody else could accompany me. So that was my first time on my own traveling across Europe. I did meet with friends who had moved from place to place and meet with friends in Germany, in Austria, in Spain. But essentially, I covered like 15 countries on my own. And so that was the first time that I was actually, had no one else to rely on, because when you're traveling with others, there's always, you have the comfort. And of course, I've come to realize you won't even socialize with other people that much. You may not even, pay attention. Of course, there are positive things about being with company, but there are things you miss. You trusting yourself, doing exactly what you want to do whenever you want to do it. There's no consultation. So you actually move faster or smoother. And I actually traveled across 15 countries on the fly. So just deciding, I only had one-way tickets and my accommodation booked for the first 2 or 3 days. No other plan. I didn't even know where I was going to travel back to Nairobi from. So that was a most amazing, amazing trip, because it was just planning 2 days ahead.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I extend, I don't like this place. No, I'm getting out of here. Am I going to book a hotel? No, I'll take a night bus and, cross to another place.
Yeah.
Here, stay a day. There, stay 2 days. There, there's another friend. We just did some random, impromptu kind of agreement. And so I ended up going to Romania. And so that was how I was doing the trip.
Yeah.
And it was an adventure of self. I could see people who travel solo. I had done it a little bit to some extent, like 20 years ago. I traveled across Syria on my own. But you see, I was coming from people I know, across Syria, into Jordan to meet my Ethiopian friend in Amman. So I can say that part of the journey is alone, but not the entire.
The entire trip.
And the conference and all. But this one, I was really on my own. And so, like I was saying, it gives you courage to do it again and again. I mean, I achieved that. Why not do it again? So by December, I actually went to Australia on my own, and then traveled across again to New Zealand and Fiji and Samoa and Vanuatu. Fantastic. So now I can confidently encourage women to travel, because it's possible. If you really want to take the courage to travel solo, stop watching the news. That's one advice I give.
Thank you for saying that. It's so true. I mean, the news are only about bad news. Why they don't give about the good news? And then we believe everything that they're saying. And it's like, come on. Like the situation that happened here in Mexico a few weeks back with the cartels.
My goodness.
And everyone's like, yeah, but it only happened in a few cities. The country is very big. It's safe. Where I am, we were safe. But I mean, they put it like, they exaggerate. That's the truth.
Yes.
And then probably a lot of the people were thinking that the whole country was on fire. It's like, no, it was only a few cities. But it's like
only for a moment.
Exactly.
There's still human beings there. There's still people alive. And yes. So yes, it's an event. In fact, it's interesting you should say that. I have a friend who's celebrating her 50th right now in Cancun.
Oh,
and
nice.
They almost come because of that event. Her friend was like, Mexico, this has happened. Like, just look at the map. Here's the map.
Yeah, it's in the other side.
So it happened.
Exactly. No, and even if I'm in Dayside, but I'm up north.
Yes.
So again, it was just
Yes.
specific cities and for a
Yes.
day or two, and then
Yes.
it was done.
The country has not collapsed.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I love that
yes,
advice.
now maybe yes, stop watching the news. The world is not ending. Yes, don't go to Israel at the moment, don't go to Iran, maybe Middle East, but only for a moment, I assure you. The time will come. For now, there's a lot of other world. Just stop watching the news, travel, There are many other places. There are many places you can go which are safe and good. Travel is fine. There's no one waiting around the corner.
Yeah. I would like to ask you, for women who are like, yes, I would like to do it. It's like, where do I start? Because I know that's your specialty, right? So how do you guide them?
That's a good one. First is just to say it's possible.
Oh.
It's possible. First, it's just so simple, but it makes a difference. It's possible and you deserve it. Just those two. It's possible and you deserve it. Doesn't matter where or how, you deserve it and it's possible. And if you've never been out before, so again, why I target African women in general is just, there just aren't enough of us out there, and probably on the same fears, the same that we have been talking about, exaggerated even more, particularly in developing nations where you have, the visa issue in your face even before you begin anything else. So as, to get past those barriers, if you've never traveled, if you've never managed your own travel, because again, I'm a travel coach and sometimes get confused with my agent, do I book flights? I don't do I don't make any arrangements. I don't compile itineraries. I don't make bookings.
Okay.
I work with you to understand, to help you reflect on what your desires, what you are looking, why the travel. Is it an Instagram thing that you've seen and you feeling FOMO, or that you really desire it authentically for yourself? And so I'm coaching. Coaching is not new, but it really has exploded in many fields. And in travel, it's new. So it gets confused with the travel advisor, consultant, agent. It's none of those, but it can also, complement all of those. So as a coach, I want the best out of you. I want you to empower you. So I work with women over 40 who have never traveled or have traveled a bit, but particularly I'm really targeting those who desire it and are not traveling, or are fearful, or, are just hesitating. And so it's possible, you deserve it. Start with what's comfortable. Start first, determine what is your desire. What do you want to get out of it? Is it just to tick a box, or what do you desire to feel? What do you desire to experience? So that is the basis for selecting your destination. Don't just go to Paris because everybody goes to Paris. It's fine. That's what will help you build your confidence. Go there. But what is it you want to experience there? Why do you want to go there? Perhaps you can achieve that nearer you, maybe based on the time frame, time allowed, budget. You can start with another city, even if it's within your country. Go by yourself or with a friend, something you've just never done before, just to take baby steps. If you're ready, you can take a flight out. Go to less resistance place, for example, a visa-free place nearby. It can be a country near you, or it can be a country where they don't even speak English, maybe. Or if you're from Spanish-speaking, place that speaks English.
Yeah.
Just go. Even there's no place I can say. I'm just like, just go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love how you say, take action. And as you mentioned, baby steps, because as you have been talking about, basically, it's about courage. And it's about building self-trust.
Yes.
every step of the way there. So
Yes.
it's like just getting out of the comfort zone, but still,
That's it. Getting
yeah.
out of the comfort zone.
Mhm.
And today, life has been so, it's been made so much easier for people to feel secure. So even as I encourage you to go, just prepare yourself, prepare, and don't take too long preparing, but just have an idea, because preparing can lead people to paralysis of analysis. But preparation, just so that you feel that confidence that you're secure, that you are braver than you imagine, that you have the courage already. It's just for you to take the action. That's the difference.
Mhm.
Action to support the courage. So today it's so much easier because everything is online. Most things are online. So if you're taking a flight, you can make your bookings online and share that with somebody, you trust. You can even book your transport, you can book your activities and send all this information to someone you trust, so that when you have that security, because a lot of it is based on fear. You have that security that at least somebody knows where you are, somebody knows where you're going, your dates, where you'll be staying. And then because of online, you can keep in touch. You can keep in touch. If I tell you about my Syria trip in 2005, the last conversation I had with my friend was the night before. I still remember up to now, at 9 p.m. in a hotel I was staying. We were attending a conference. We are BBC, we were born before computers, so we were still learning, at that time. So we were in a hotel with how they would have cybers? What do they call them? I don't know what they call them now. Some sort of, section where you'd go and send email, use the internet. So we didn't have, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no internet.
Yeah, of course not.
It was downstairs somewhere, computers. So I sent a message on Yahoo Messenger to let her know that I'm leaving tomorrow, going to the hotel will arrange for me a public taxi. They'll just call the taxi here. I'm going to go, there's, this kind of transport, and I'm expecting to be in Amman from Damascus at around 11 a.m. That's the last conversation we had on Yahoo Messenger. And I arrived there after all the adventure of traveling around 2 p.m. And she waited. And that was very fortunate for me. She waited until 3 hours extra. Today, minute by minute, I can be giving her blow by blow account. I don't even have to reflect. Here's the car, here's the taxi, here's the, this is what I'm eating. I don't know, this what if it stopped. So there's so much, it's been made so much more conducive for people to travel alone and still feel secure. And so what we just need to work through is the dramas we watch on movies and on news that, in fact, what I say is like, much of what we're afraid of that can happen abroad can happen at home. And actually usually does, because our guard is down at home. When you get out, you're more aware of your surroundings, of yourself. And most of the time it's just maybe petty theft. What we can't avoid in general, which we don't enjoy, but what we can't avoid more often than not, is paying more than we'd like to when we travel. I think for me, that's one of the most common dangers, if you will. And so, no, nobody wants to spend more than they can, but it's not like dramatic, just like they say with a flight, in the unlikely event, when we are being asked, to put on our mask, they always start with in the unlikely event. It's not impossible, it's unlikely. So much of what we fear abroad is generally unlikely. What could happen is things that can happen at home. If it's petty theft, if it is misunderstanding between people because of language or not, you can work things out just like you do at home. And so really, or getting lost, even at home, we can get lost. We take a wrong turning. And you can still find your way because there's so much more support now. And in general, most people would like you to have a good experience in their country because tourism is a big business. So everyone wants you to have a good experience, even if they are not directly involved. Most people would like to have a good experience so that you arrive, enjoy, live, and tell others about it, and that grows business. And most people are just at work. That realization came sometime on my travels, and I would be like, actually, I'm so privileged to travel, really, because everywhere I go, everyone is really just at work. They're just minding their own business wherever you go. It's not unfriendliness or, it's more about people just living their livelihoods. Everybody's at work. From the time I leave home, the taxi driver, the pilot, the air hostess, the hoteliers, the tour guides, the people who are really on holiday is me and other tourists. We're only there for a short time, and then we go back. So it is safe.
Yeah, but you know what? I think the issue is when we actually travel and we bring work with us in our head at all times, or the issues at home that we don't even try to disconnect from our minds from whatever is happening back home. And it's like, so you might change the environment, but if in your head you're still then back home, you're not really present and you're not really enjoying and you are not really, in that case, having that travel, that adventure, if you keep shifting back to what it is there that you think is happening.
Yes. You're absolutely right. And this is the paradox for me, because I'm really targeting, or I keep reminding people, you don't have to quit work, because I did most of my travel while I was holding a full-time job. And I especially loved it because I wasn't the owner of the business. So I was employed. I'm a career data analyst or data administrator. And so for me, I especially embrace work and travel because I leave work when I leave work. And I totally, completely switch off. The out of office message? Yes. And I will not carry my laptop. I am going to truly relax. But I realize it's not everyone. It doesn't come with ease to everyone. It's just exactly. So that's the challenge. That's the paradox, because people who are at work don't realize that when we say travel light, it's not only for physical baggage. It's also
it's about the mind.
mental baggage.
Yes.
Which is heavier than the physical. Physical baggage can be handled. You can put it on a trunk. Someone can help you carry it. But the mental baggage, I'm sorry, you have to deal with that yourself.
Yes.
And it's back to it's being needed, feeling that things cannot run when you're not there, or really just your life not being able to separate your life from life.
Yeah.
You from the rest of life. Yeah, you're so right. That is another thing.
Yeah. And I think it's very important. I don't know when this happened, when I was still having, a 9-to-5 job, that when I finally decided that, no, I got to switch off. That's it. This is it. And the thing is, at that time, probably we had smartphones, but it was not all this need of being connected all the time. I needed to answer, And even like I didn't allow it. I remember at one point I was working with some doctors and they were like, "Hey, can we just get your number so we get you into a WhatsApp group?" And I was like, I very politely, I remember I replied to them in an email, "This is my schedule and you can reach me via email." That was it. Like very nicely, but I'm like, no. And then imagine like these are doctors who are working 24/7. And I'm like, I don't want a freaking message from them at 7 in the morning in a Sunday when they can send me an email And then
Yes.
I mean, it was not that the kind of work that I was doing for them, it was not of an urgency.
Yeah.
That's what I put,
see.
kind of like the line. So
Yeah,
it's
boundary.
exactly boundaries. So it's like, okay, you have your job, but it's up to you how you set the boundaries and when you
Yes.
want and need to switch off, because you are here for living, not for working. Your work is part of your life, but then go on with your life itself when you are out of it, out of work.
Yeah, you're so right. And that's a great example because you teach people how to work around you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the converse of that I'll give you, I've had that personal experience when I was early in my career, dedicated, first one in the office, last one to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'd be there on Saturday.
Wow.
So it became, I only realized after some time that people would organize things around my dedication, even without involving me. So someone can tell someone, yeah, you make that delivery on Saturday. There's always someone there. Maria is usually there. So they will make that agreement and then come and say, yeah, Maria, I know you'll be in the office. Someone is delivering something. So I wouldn't think much of it when I was like, yeah, okay, of course. Yeah, I'm going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Until I was working with I've also been based in South Sudan. I was working with in South Sudan, and because as expatriates, we have no other life. We have work is our life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's often not family station. So you're there, and because it's not your country, you will work all the time. So then I started to notice a pattern that at 5 p.m. you would know it's 5 p.m. because
Mm-hmm.
at 4:45, everyone's shutting their laptops. You hear cupboards locking.
Yeah.
Everyone is off, and people are off, and that will be the end of it. For us, we finish at 5, heading to where we live, open the laptop and continue working.
Oh, wow.
So I just realized something's wrong with this picture. And so we even know not to look for them. We know not to refer anything. If you're going to send an email, it will be answered in the morning because, you can see the laptops are at the office, nothing, no work after. So I actually decided to do the same.
Yes.
I got my personal laptop, office laptop, left in the office. And if I want to do anything else, that's when I was even exploring the travel coaching business. I was like, after 5 o'clock, me time.
Yes,
Work
please.
starts and then I realized that at first people would be like, but you didn't answer the mail. I was like, yeah, I didn't have the laptop. Yes, I will respond to it tomorrow. And people adjust.
Exactly. As you said, it's about you putting the boundary, and they're like,
Yes.
okay, I know she's going to answer tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's it. You get adjust. So, it's the same thing at home. If women just realize that, say we say, I have my annual retreat every summer for these 5 days, people will work around it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just put your foot down and go for it.
Yes. Yes. I would like to know, before we're kind of closing up this amazing conversation that I am enjoying so much.
Oh, wow. The time has flown.
Yes. So, as a travel coach, what kind of practices or rituals you offer to your clients to kind of like get ready for their trips?
Yeah, that's a good one. So, to ensure that they take action, I give them pre-work homework.
Oh, I love that. Like what?
They need to research on where they're going and describe how they want to feel. I need them to go there and be there and describe what is it? Is it, paint a picture. If you want to find a picture and present it, that's fine, but paint a picture. Do you want to arrive there and your days are packed? And no size fits all. So no one size fits all. And this is the important thing.
Mhm.
Like, don't try to fit into, what you think people expect or what you think people require of a holiday? What do you want to experience? What's your ideal holiday look like? Really just give yourself permission to be real. If your friend likes lying on beaches while you prefer to rummage in a museum the whole day,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that for sure. But if that's what you want, that is what you should plan for. Do research on the museums and read up, which are the best ones to go, and, come and let's discuss it. So talking about visualizing, talking about it, describing it, also describing what you don't want to experience, so that you also help them with clarity. So it's increasing the likelihood you're going to come back fulfilled. You're going to enjoy yourself. So what do you want to experience? What you don't want to experience? Visualize it, document it. Let's have a plan of, what it's going to look like. If you want to have backup for what ifs, most of what ifs are always what if. Okay, let's go through those what ifs.
Yes.
But focus is enjoying. What will increase the likelihood that you'll enjoy? And then as we get age, even for me, I have to admit, when I was younger, my days were packed because I have to maximize. I'm going to be there for 5 days. We are hit the ground running, arrive, throw your bags, and, activity after activity. As I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate a little slowing down, a little flexibility. You can have your schedule, but and this is why I encourage self-managed travel. If you go through an agent, and I don't have anything against them, the reality is that agents don't travel as often as we'd like to imagine. They arrange it, and they base their packages on feedback, but they themselves may not have traveled as much as we imagine. So if you have your own arranged itinerary, then you can also throw it out if you don't like it. You can start when you arrive there, say, you know what, I don't feel like doing any of that. Throw your feet up and take a rest, and no guilt about it. Just do you. It's about you and how much you enjoy it. It's about you and your fulfillment. And you don't want to come back resenting the holiday. You want to come back having enjoyed it, but pack a positive attitude, because it's an adventure. And really, rarely, things don't always go, according to plan. So make sure you have time to breathe. Make sure you have time to sit still. Engage in activities, but try not to pack it too much, so that you have breathing space, so that you can really just be. Don't expect the trip to solve all your problems. Just take it for what it is, a break.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's important. I like that kind of pre-work that you are saying, because then they have this kind of, like intention of having fun, and right, instead of what you just said, if their intention is just to escape, it's like it's not the same approach, and most likely might not work the same. And as you said, then it's gonna be like, this trip was so shitty, whatever. Yeah, but what was your intention? Just to escape?
Yes. So setting intentions, that's the one. Setting intentions for it, and remembering that you're going to come back to the same life. So this is just a step away. the office would not have changed, and the people have not moved out of the house.
Not at all.
Just take a step. Yes.
Yes.
And it's for you. Just take it for the breather it is. Do what you want to do the way that you want to do it for you. And because not everyone is going on the trip with you, they don't know what went on.
Yes, so true. Just to remember that.
It's just come back full. Yeah, the world will move on, and they won't care when you come back. Just be happy that you did it for you.
Yes. Yeah, be happy that you did it for you. That's the thing.
For
It
you.
was about filling up your own cup, and
Yeah, that's
so
it.
you can thrive and help others thrive.
Yes, you will share from a full cup.
Mm-hmm.
And they will notice. They might be the ones who are like, mom, maybe you need another trip.
Take a vacation, please. Love it, love it. Yes, yes. Oh, Maria, I have enjoyed this conversation so much. And just to close, I always like asking this to my guest in here is like, what's a pleasure that you enjoy the most?
That's a good one. I've realized that still along the lines of travel, but whether I travel or not, I really have come to appreciate, and that's something travel taught me, that I like to connect. I like to connect with people. So because I want to travel the whole world, I rarely ever go back to a place once I've been there. I never return because I'm like, these resources can go. That's how I got to 90 plus countries, because I'm trying to get to all the 195. But if there's one thing that will send me back to a place, is if there's someone I know that we can sit and have a coffee, a tea, just chat. So even when I went to Europe, I had been to Austria before, I wouldn't have gone back. But there is an old schoolmate who I hadn't seen since high school, who I learned was living in Vienna. So I diverted and went to Vienna, and she was gracious enough to host me with her family. I got to know her family. But we spent one full day catching up on 30 years. You know, that's not enough, but just over a coffee, being vulnerable, tidbits, what happened next? And just up to speed, you pick whatever you want to share and just connect with the heart, with, their life, their person, who they've become. I love that. I can visit a place and sacrifice even seeing the sights if there's someone to catch up with, sit down, let's chat. I totally love that. So what we did as an example is like that trip from Boston to LA and back. We actually had a coffee or a tea or a dinner with up to 14 different families at random. So they're like, oh, we are passing through, Ohio, are you around? Are you available? Oh, we're in Washington. Are you there? And some would be like, oh, I'm busy or my hands are full. But if you have between this time and this time, we can sit down and do a very quick tea, have a good laugh. And of course, they'll be fascinated by this journey. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? But those connections were it makes the journey memorable. Just makes the journey memorable. Just connecting authentically and really just a tea, a coffee, a shared story, a laugh. That makes the journey, different. So I love that. I love that at home.
Wow.
I enjoy it. So even this is a bonus.
Thank you. Yeah, this is definitely a memorable moment shared with you, and I'm so grateful. And thank you for sharing all your wisdom, your knowledge, your energy. It has been such a pleasurable and memorable moment in here. So thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you, Kenna. And keep us engaged. Keep reminding us to engage. I love it. I love the midlife butterfly.
Thank you for tuning into Midlife Butterfly. I hope this episode empowered you in some way. Share the love by hitting follow wherever you're listening and leave a review if you feel inspired. I also love to connect with you. Come say hi on Instagram at Midlife Butterfly. I love to know you. Until next time, keep spreading those wings and live in joy, growth, and pleasure.